she jolts awake in a freezing downpour, transported back to the exact moment her previous life began to unravel. Before she can even breathe, her twin sister, Elena, initiates the betrayal. A glass of red wine shatters violently against Chloe's face, a public signal that the humiliation has officially begun. This is the altar betrayal. Elena announces she is taking Chloe's fiancé, Brandon, while Chloe is traded away like a liability to settle a family debt. Her destination is the Blackwood estate, home to a man the elite describe as a broken, wheelchair-bound monster hiding behind a mask. In a single stroke, Elena and Brandon have stripped Chloe of her inheritance, her reputation, and her future, leaving her standing alone in the rain. But Chloe doesn't cry. She slowly wipes the wine from her eyes, her gaze turning cold, as she realizes that since she has already lost everything, she no longer has to play by their rules. This isolation is her new leverage. Because no one expects anything from a social outcast, Chloe is now free to operate with the cold, calculated logic of the future she's already seen. Rebirth has replaced Chloe's grief with something far more useful, a complete record of her enemy's hidden failures. To the world, Brandon is a billionaire. To Chloe, he's a walking bankruptcy. Beneath his company's high valuation lies a mountain of hidden toxic debt. She knows the precise moment this financial facade will collapse, and exactly which documents will trigger the landslide. Chloe is letting them keep their secrets for now. She is positioning herself to ensure that when the structure finally falls, Elena and Brandon are still locked inside. By holding back this data, Chloe has turned her enemy's ignorance into a countdown they don't even know has started. Chloe turns away from her sister's laughter and walks toward the one person everyone else is too afraid to approach. She kneels before the man in the wheelchair. She isn't asking for a husband, she's proposing a merger. The public sees Adrian Blackwood as a paralyzed recluse. Chloe knows the truth. He is the shadow king of the city's economy, and his physical weakness is a mask he uses to watch his rivals destroy themselves. She offers him a simple trade, her silence about his true power, and her knowledge of rivals' weaknesses, in exchange for the Blackwood name. This alliance combines her vision of the future with his hidden capital, creating a force that the social elite are completely unprepared to fight. The negotiation is over. Adrian reaches out, accepting the terms of an agreement that cannot be undone. The crimson wax secures the contract. This document serves as the foundation for everything Chloe will build and everything she will destroy. As the doors close, the man everyone believed was broken stands up. Adrian's shadow stretches across the hall, revealing his hidden physical power. He makes one promise. From this moment on, any move made against Chloe is a move made against the Blackwood Empire. Behind them, Elena and Brandon are still celebrating their supposed victory, drinking the wine they think they've won. Chloe watches them with a cold smile. She knows exactly how their celebration ends, and she's the one who wrote the script. The trap is set. Elena and Brandon have just handed Chloe the keys to the only house they can't take from her, and in Part B, she's going to burn it down with them inside. Vengeance narratives don't waste time on apologies. They start with momentum. A woman in sharp emerald heels striding down a corporate hallway, walking straight toward the people who ruined her past life. To make that revenge satisfying, the story relies on an outrage engine. You have to build up antagonists, like Elena, the greedy twin sister, and Brandon, the cowardly ex-fiancé, so they are practically glowing with unearned confidence. Look at this seesaw diagram. The red villain side is dragged to the bottom by a massive weight called perceived power, made entirely of stolen corporate assets and artificial social status. Now watch the other side. The blue protagonist side drops, weighed down by hollow blocks labeled disability and bankruptcy. Chloe purposefully adopts a cold facade of total vulnerability to feed her enemy's egos. Creating this extreme, unfair power imbalance is a strict psychological requirement. By stacking the deck so heavily against the hero, the story guarantees the audience is desperate to watch the villains fall. The tension peaks inside a glass boardroom. Brandon and Elena push a finalized contract across the table, demanding Chloe sign away her remaining shares to cement their absolute control. They are too focused on their own victory laps to notice the trap. They assume Chloe's silence is fear, completely missing the legal loopholes she planted in the very documents they just drafted. Then comes the break. Chloe slams a heavy 50-page dossier onto the glass table, cutting off their threats mid-sentence. The atmosphere instantly freezes. The hunched, defeated posture vanishes. She sits up straight, locks eyes with her sister, and reads the hidden clauses. The trap succeeds because Brandon and Elena confuse volume for leverage. They thought conventional bullying and loud demands could overrule quiet, ironclad legal control. Readers of this genre call this exact moment the face slap. It is a sudden, mathematical reversal of status, rendering verbal arguments completely useless. This pie chart illustrates the mechanic perfectly. Corporate equity rapidly drains from the red villain sector into the blue sector, locking at exactly 51%. The moment that majority hits, it slams shut over the company, legally stripping Brandon of his CEO title and accounts. The villains experience immediate cognitive dissonance. They are staring at paper evidence proving they were outsmarted by someone they spent the morning mocking. Effective vengeance here requires no physical violence. It relies entirely on the cold, calculated acquisition of leverage, so complete the antagonist cannot even argue. But a single financial win rarely satisfies the audience. The genre demands compound catharsis, where multiple reveals stack rapidly. The massive double doors swing open. A powerful man in a tailored suit steps confidently into the boardroom, flanked by imposing security guards. This is Adrian Blackwood. For the first 50 chapters, everyone thought he was a crippled, discarded heir. Now, he stands before them wearing a half-mask, fully revealed as the billionaire king of the financial underworld. By walking into the room on his own 2 feet, Adrian discards the wheelchair he used as a prop. That simple physical act destroys the final pillar of Elena and Brandon's reality. The traders literally collapse into their chairs. Brandon, secretly bankrupt himself, realizes the man he insulted yesterday now owns his entire debt portfolio. The ultimate face slap leaves nothing standing. It systematically obliterates the financial bank accounts and the social hierarchies the abusers used to survive. Rebirth narratives follow strict rules, and one of them is the kill shot phase. You cannot leave a defeated enemy with the resources to mount a counterattack. Here is how that plays out structurally. This flowchart tracks multiple red debt nodes, representing Brandon and Elena's personal loans, funneling into Adrian's massive blue corporate entity. The nodes turn black instantly, signifying total, inescapable bankruptcy. Security guards step forward and physically escort the bankrupt executives out. Their keycards are deactivated, cementing their permanent exit from high society. The narrative contract is fulfilled. The abusers are finally reduced to the exact state of sheer, isolating powerlessness they forced upon Chloe in her previous life. With the villains removed, the story shifts its focus to the aftermath. We examine the after-state of the reborn protagonist. The ruthless corporate execution gives way to a slow, tender moment of vulnerability. Adrian gently brushes a strand of hair from Chloe's face as they look out over the empty, sunlit boardroom. Total victory delivers 2 specific rewards. First, unassailable public power. Second, fierce, loyal, private intimacy. It delivers a clear psychological takeaway. True power doesn't come from avoiding betrayal. It belongs to those who survive it, analyze the board, and completely rewrite the rules of the game. A final shot of a sharply dressed power couple walking away against a modern skyline serves as a visual metaphor. It leaves the audience with a lasting feeling of untouchable supremacy and complete rebirth.